the question from your Patreon subscriber?
If you can, if you ever get onto the Sean Ryan show, then...
What's the gift you're going to give?
I gave you a cup of water.
No, you didn't.
Well, I gave you a sip of water.
Disgusting.
We might just be able to do a comedy podcast.
I'm not funny. I'm not funny when I try to be funny.
Yeah, well, that's going to be your biggest obstacle in this episode. Is I can already tell that you're not.
I'm like in a professional mode.
Yeah, that you're not relaxed at all, and you need to be.
I'm professional. I'm a good interviewer.
This is literally.
I'm a good interviewer.
Well, you're an interviewee.
Yeah, I'm great at that. That's what I mean in an interview.
How do you know that you're good at that?
Because everyone tells me after I get the job.
Is that the same? Is that the same thing?
Kayla was like, your outfit was so cute. You were so funny. You were so happy. Because I can really turn it on.
Is an interview...
I should have said,
like an interview that we're doing is different than a job interview, though.
I know, but I was trying to be professional. I steamed this. I pulled this out of the dirty laundry and I steamed it. So it didn't have wrinkles.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's dirty. There's a little, I folded it under because I'm
not going to lie, it's still a little bit wrinkly.
I'll put my arms down. But I had a little stain at the bottom, and so I tucked that under. I don't know what it is.
Is it an oil stain?
No.
Because I could get it out.
No, you can't.
I did.
Kevin, that probably wasn't oil. You just washed your shirt. Congratulations.
What do you mean it wasn't oil?
What was it?
I literally told you it was oil from that sausage pasta stuff.
Okay.
A sausage literally fell on my shirt and left an oil spot on it.
Do you think that my clothes are stained?
And guess what, chat?
Do you think I don't know how to get a stain out of clothes? This is just dirty. It was in the dirty hamper.
No, you didn't tell me how to get a stain out of the
clothes.
You
didn't ask.
I did too.
I sprayed it and then I didn't know it was oil. You didn't.
You think that we've been married for almost 7 years and I've never asked you how to get a stain out of a shirt?
Have I told you?
You didn't tell me how to do it the way that I did it.
Well, there's a lot of ways.
That worked, by the way.
There's a lot of ways to get stains out.
Oil stains, pour baking soda on them.
Everybody knows that.
Well, I didn't.
I didn't know that. I thought baking soda was for.
Did you actually
odor.
not know that?
I get a lot of oil stains on my shirts.
I was shocked to find out how simple it was.
I hate how you're sitting. It's
Why?
so annoying.
You need to sit like this.
I am. I'm just not crossing my leg into a 4.
You're freaking me out.
What do you want me to do?
You're sitting like you're in an upright coffin or something.
I'm just... Yeah, this is what this chair is. It is an upright coffin.
It's not.
It's a square.
It's not if you don't sit in it.
You're like just sitting like this.
Like you are in rigor mortis.
I'm not. I'm just sitting. Whatever. Just because you're doing a freaking hip stretch.
It's not a... Okay.
Welcome back to the Mrs. Moxie show.
That's not what this is.
This is a segment where I interview Kevin.
No, we already did that. We know plenty about me now. And I was going to tell you that the reason that you didn't come up in the first episode was because...
I listened to 3 hours of the first episode.
Don't look at that camera.
I am. Like Jim.
Don't look at that camera.
I listened to 3 hours. And it's like getting to the part in Kevin's timeline where he's home from his mission. This is where we meet. And surely I thought my time was coming. And then the next, he says, I got home from my mission. The next big thing that happened, I popped my shoulder out of socket. And I was like, what?
To be fair.
What about getting married? No. What about meeting your wife?
Hold on a second.
Dating?
Hold on a second.
I would have even been okay if you talked about some of the other people you dated, as that's part of your history. I was prepared for that. Didn't even touch it. I almost stopped listening.
Well, that should make you feel better.
That I'm grouped with them?
No.
That none of us were mentioned?
That I just wasn't like, okay. First of all, my shoulder popped out of its socket before.
That's true.
Before we were even hanging out.
But the reason you brought it up is because you were saying you had surgery. And that was long after we had been married
Well, no.
because somebody's insurance had to pay for it.
No, I talked about the surgery way
Mine.
after that.
My insurance.
It
No,
was your insurance.
you didn't. You started talking about the surgeries of both, and you watch it back, man.
Let's just talk about
Watch it
the
back.
first episode again.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
The reason that you didn't come up is because I wanted to devote an
no,
entire
you didn't.
episode.
You absolutely
for
didn't.
you.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. This was my idea.
Yeah, no, okay. Your idea?
Yes.
Okay.
Or halvesies.
I can't remember,
It can
honestly.
be I'm talking about doing this
Yeah.
right now. That
There
was
were
my
there were
idea.
a few people that fell through, and I mean that's
Joe Rogan, Trump.
Yeah, and you were third on the list.
Yeah.
But I what?
I thought about rigor mortis again.
Yeah,
I'm just
you need to
really
stop.
aware of
You're
how
still
I'm
doing
sitting.
it.
I know, but Kevin, it's like this is also a coffin. Arms down, coffin. Arms up, coffin.
Maybe
like,
try a slight slouch.
I don't want to slouch. Nobody wants
Just a
to
slight one. See, isn't that more comfortable?
No, it's actually not.
Try one arm. See how much. See if I'm all the way out here.
No,
that
you.
doesn't
But
really
that's what
work
I'm
for
saying.
me.
I hated how you were sitting. That's what brought this up. I think that you look goofy.
I look goofy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let the audience decide on
No.
on if
Cut all this
on if
out.
this
Cut
no
all
if this
out.
if this is goofy right here,
No, please don't
Or-
ask. I can't get trolled.
or if this is goofy.
I'm leaning back. Lean
Oh.
back.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
It's the most uncomfortable.
You're sitting in a 4. Your legs are a 4. Does this look better?
A 4?
Yeah.
Oh, like oh. My leg is crossed is what normal people say.
Yeah, but it's like a 4. Anyways, so here we are. My idea. I wasn't mentioned in the first episode.
I know, and I can't remember. There was
There's
something that I
not a
wanted to
reason
say
why.
about it.
There's not a reason why. Don't try to make one up now. Truly, you didn't want to mention it. In fact, I texted him and said, "Wow, I thought I would."
Oh yeah, that's why. That's why.
No, and this,
That's what I was
he
gonna
said,
say.
That wasn't a significant event in my life. You're like, I'm
Nope,
not.
that's a lie.
You're like, I'm not unique.
That's a lie.
You're like,
Oh my
everybody
gosh.
gets married.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I didn't say that you weren't unique. I didn't say that it wasn't a significant event in my life.
That's
in
true.
fact, I said the opposite. I said that it was a very significant
You want me to
event in
pull
my
it up?
life. I said that it wasn't a unique experience
And that's fine.
in my life because
I
billions of
understand.
people are getting married.
Yeah, I get it. It's true. Though,
However-
I think the way we got married and the way we even dated and got engaged is unique. And
Yes,
that's why
it
I
is.
thought it would
And
come up.
I did want to. I actually did originally plan to mention that in the first episode. And I don't know why I didn't. And our adoption was obviously another thing that I don't even know
We
why.
can talk about that when it's all done. I don't think it would be. We're not going to dive into that until we know that it's signed into the law.
Well, I think it's worth bringing up.
Well, we can bring
at
it
this
up,
point.
but also it's still in process and it could still fall through.
Okay. Well, is there anything? Okay, so this is all up to. I'll help you navigate what you want to talk about.
I'm sorry. I thought you were interviewing me.
Yeah,
Okay.
sort of.
Then I don't need your help
See,
navigating.
this is more of a conversation.
Okay, then you don't need
That's
to
why I need you to
navigate me.
slouch a little bit
You don't
more.
need to mansplain me through a conversation. I don't need to slouch.
You do because you're on a
Sitting next to
podcast
Kevin-
freaking out.
Sitting next to Kevin on a plane,
What?
you spread all
Sitting next
the
to
way
Kevin
out.
on a plane.
You spread all the way out. That's what you're reminding me of. Is you on a plane.
I've never sat on a. There's no room to sit on a plane like this.
All right, well, what do you want?
What? The question is, what do
Look,
you
if
want?
I sit up, I'm talking about how I'm sitting. If I sit up, my feet almost just
Oh.
like perfectly touch the floor.
Okay.
So, but if I slouch, I don't want to slouch.
All right, I'm done talking about our posture.
Okay, well.
What is there anything that you would like to get to
Get
that
off
you
my
would like to
chest.
touch on before we got married or before we met rather?
Are you talking about adding to your timeline or
Well,
my life?
This is your life.
Oh.
Because I know you based on when we met and afterward. I'm just wondering if there is the goal here is to pick out the significant things in your life that you want to share with people, that you want everybody to know and hear. And I'm just wondering if there's anything that happened before we met that you feel like you want to talk about or share, because I'll be able to, add a lot to the conversation when we get to our married life. But
no, I don't really think there's anything significant.
No?
I think I had a pretty basic childhood. I don't think anything was crazy.
All right.
I have great parents. I have awesome siblings. My childhood was happy and conventional.
Born in northern Utah.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Give us just if there's no significant detail, just give us a quick rundown.
Okay. Youngest in my family, lived in Salt Lake area all my life. Was a terrible student. Talked all through the day.
Terrible in what way?
Didn't care about school. Talked constantly.
Did you struggle academically though?
Yes. But then it's like, was I really trying? Probably not.
Okay.
So
Fair.
I did fine like in elementary school. I was pretty bad in math like in high school and college, but I didn't really apply myself. Didn't really know how to study. But I just was a bad student because I was a brat and I wouldn't shut up. So that was my mom's parent-teacher conferences. They were like, she talks a lot.
Okay.
So I didn't think it was really crazy. It was the expectation in my family to go to college, so I did. It was great.
Okay, I'll quickly brag in your behalf. You have never applied for a job that you didn't get.
That's not true anymore. That used to be true.
When did you not?
When we were moving here and I applied for teaching jobs online, I didn't get the first like 2.
Okay, that's true. Okay.
And it was like, that's why I was so offended.
So that's
because I always get the job.
That's not true anymore.
But if
ended the streak?
If I interview in person, I've always gotten the job.
Yes, that is still true.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, is that streak ended because you were trying to get a job from over 1,000 miles away.
Yeah, like over Zoom.
Which,
I also don't think anyone...
A decently competitive job too.
Everyone talks about a teacher's shortage, so I don't know how competitive it is. But I genuinely think that...
I guess that's true.
That they didn't... Like, if I put myself in their shoes and I interview someone on Zoom that lives in Utah and they're like, I'm moving to St. Louis, and they ask...
closer to your...
They ask me why.
You're just catching too much of the room.
Okay, sorry.
It's fine.
Then they ask me why. They would say, what's bringing you to St. Louis? And I would be like, nothing. We just want to move here. And so they're like, okay. So
Jesus.
I genuinely don't even think that so then I think they probably talk about it after, right? The hiring committee, and they're like, she might not even end up coming out here. She's crazy. And they were like going with someone safer that already lives here.
Yeah.
I wasn't licensed in Missouri yet. It was just kind of a risk. So the only school that would take me sucked, and I left.
And we'll get to that too.
Okay.
I definitely want to talk about that. But any tips or tricks or anything that you feel like you do
hiring on interviewing?
I mean, you're foolproof.
Okay. Well, you and I are opposite in the way we approach a job. I am like the best employee. Kevin is the worst employee.
It's true.
Even in my stupid jobs in high school, I was I was good. I I really do genuinely think that I work really hard. I think that's my best strength.
But how do you get the job? How do you
kind of got to be a little bit fake. But not even really
Explain.
fake. I just had to be the most excited, the happiest.
like in your interview?
Yeah, but not too much that you're annoying. But also,
But you like admittedly straight up a
Was
little bit
fake?
fakeness goes a long way.
I think so because I've had the thought too, now that my team that I work with now know me better, that I think,
Right.
oh, I wonder, because some of them were in that interview and they're probably like, this girl's not the same girl.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody is. I think everybody is.
Oh my gosh, dude, that was me at Zions Bank. Are you kidding?
Did you were a little bit fake in your interview?
Well, I just I said
You're passionate about banking?
no. No, I was very I mean, they'll ask you about your work ethic maybe
Oh
or
my gosh. And you're like, yeah, I quit Wendy's.
well, I mean, I'm not going to be I'm not going to go out of my way to be yeah, I don't really like to do stuff that I think is really dumb and pointless, but I think that there was the idea that I was a bit more of an overachiever than I actually am.
Mm-hmm.
But it made me feel better to know that I was what bankers value a lot is just high morals, because people are, they try to, you got to be an honest person to be a banker.
I don't know if that's true. I actually think you're more successful if you're dishonest. In the money business?
Well, yeah, yes. Oh man, that's debatable. That's debatable,
but
because
I think for your type of
true.
job, for your job, that's probably true.
It's true, but you can't put that on the job application.
What? Are you honest?
Yeah, you're high.
Are you a scout?
The manager that's hiring you isn't going to be like, oh, by the way, you're not going to make any money if you're not a little bit dishonest. Even though that might be true, what's on paper, what's on their paper is you should be very honest. And that's what I hit home in my interview. And that's actually what I asked one of the managers one time. Or I didn't even ask him. I just said something because I had just gotten out of the construction job, the construction industry. And I was like, dude, I can't believe that I'm making more money here than I was doing construction, because construction was just way harder.
You're doing nothing.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm just kind of sitting on my butt here.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's because of your honesty.
They said that. Wait.
Well, no, they didn't. They let me rephrase that.
Zions Bank did not praise you for your honesty, because I know what you wore to that bank on Saturdays, and it was sweatpants.
Well, that's not dishonest.
What did they want you to wear?
Was I lying to that?
Did they know you were wearing that and bringing a Wii? Didn't you bring in a Wii?
Yeah, that was fine.
Oh, yeah. That
was fine. It was. They did, as long as you.
They gave you the okay for that? They said bring in a Wii and wear pajamas?
Well, okay.
Pajamas?
No, but they didn't tell me not to.
Okay. Honest.
And they were like, you can, it's drive-through only.
Okay, whatever. What's your point? Who's saying that you're honest?
My point is that they weren't telling me specifically. They were just like, that's a lot of what your paycheck is just you being
your integrity.
Yeah, you're being an integrable. No, you're not getting paid for the manual labor that you're doing here in banking, but you're just getting paid for a different type of value.
Okay. That's what I think really it boils down to, that I was going to say, and that I have a lot to say about education and teaching is value if you want to go there. But whatever job you're applying for, you need to explain to them how you're going to be valuable. So you need to know about what they care about. You need to know their values and align yours. And also, if your values don't align with theirs, don't work there. That's what I hated so much about my other school.
Do you do that in your interviews? Like
Absolutely.
Your
the more-
interviewer is like, you sit down with the principal or whoever it is that is asking you questions, and you are like, I want to know more about what you.
No, you should already know.
How?
You should go on their website and learn everything you can about them and be like, and you bring that up like,
You actually did that.
yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. If you can show that you know about them as an institution or a business or whatever, and show that you like, you don't want to work there just because you want a job. You like, I had to say, I want to be part of this community. I want to be you. I want to represent you. I'm not just looking for a job. Like when I worked for the college, for the VP, he said that. He said, anyone that hires here that says, I've always wanted to work for SUU, he's like, okay, don't care. I want someone that wants this job. I want someone that's passionate about this role. You don't want to just work for SUU to say you can work for SUU. You want to be like, I want to work for the vice president of student affairs because I'm passionate about XYZ. Like, tailor yourself to the job.
So I would just say that I would imagine, I'm not on the internet like looking up all of the elementary schools in the district and seeing and comparing their values.
Good.
But how do you feel like there's a difference?
In what? Between what?
Between schools, how they portray their values just from the websites.
No,
Surely
not
that's all you
hugely.
have.
No, and that's why I got duped into that first job. But really, okay.
The first job here.
Yes, and so that is where there is some level of fakeness because they can put anything they want on a website,
Right.
and you don't know what it's really going to be like working at that place. But like I can get on there and be like, I love your guys' mission statement about this. I really believe in that as well. Like to show that you want to join them. You want to be that kind of a teacher or whatever job it is. So that's why, okay, so adding value. Do you want to talk about education? Because that's what I have a lot to say about adding value. But if you would like to continue through this life story or lack of.
Yeah, well, let's put a pin in it and come back to it.
Got a lot to say. Could be a whole episode.
I know, that's good. We'll get there. We're only 20 minutes in.
But so that's what I would say. I would say know the job you're applying for. Like learn about it. And everybody, I think this is actually obvious, but you're supposed to have a lot of questions to ask. Like that looks really good too. Did you bring any questions to Zions Bank? Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you may have. I think I did actually.
Yeah, like at my interviews, I have a list of them, and a lot of times, like part of them will be answered throughout the interview, and then I only have a few left to ask at the end. But it just shows that you really care. But yeah.
Did you have questions about the gym that you worked at?
I think I did.
Really?
Yeah, because I took a communications class in high school that taught me that.
Really?
Yeah. They said bring a list of references, bring your resume, and bring questions.
You took a communications class in high school?
Yeah.
It was just communications.
Yeah, 10-10. It was for college credit.
Wow, I don't think I've even heard of that.
So yeah, I learned that, and I really think I did. And the questions were dumb because it was a dumb high school job. It was like, what are the hours? Like, what will my responsibilities be? How many days do I get off? Like they were stupid, but they show that you're like more informed and that you care.
Right. So what about being? I feel like your time as an ambassador for SUU was also somewhat significant and unique. Not everybody gets to do something like that.
That's true.
What do you have to say about it? How did you get it?
Yeah, so well, I needed to do it because I needed a scholarship because my grades were bad because I was a bad student. And I played sports in high school, and I got to the point that I was like probably not going to play in college. Not that good.
Could have though.
No.
Could have.
I'm honest with myself.
Team captain of a 5A basketball
Kevin,
team.
Like girls high school basketball. Okay.
It's girls' college basketball.
But I didn't. I guess that's true. I don't know. Caitlin Clark.
You're trying to downplay.
Okay,
you're trying to downplay girls' high school basketball. Also
realistic.
It's just as.
So I get to the point where I'm like, I'm not gonna. This isn't my future.
Okay.
Basketball. And
you hurt your foot.
I did hurt my foot, and I still to this day have problems with it.
Okay.
And, and the girl that I was guarding went on to play and was like a superstar at BYU. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the clout. That's what I have.
Nice. You got your ankles broken.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's like why. Yeah. Okay. So I obviously, and I didn't have very good grades. So I kind of got to the point where it was like, well, I need a scholarship in college. And so I decided my senior year to do student government. And I actually ran to be a senior class officer, which thank goodness that I didn't win, because you know they're the ones that plan like the reunions.
No.
Yeah, I tried to be that. I didn't know. Well, I kind of knew, but I didn't care.
Wait.
Yes.
What is it? What is it called? I don't even. What is the title? Senior what?
Senior class officer, because there's like the SBOs, the student body officers.
Senior class officer.
There's the SBOs. Those are like the popular kids. Knew I would not make that. Didn't even try.
Popular kids.
It is a popularity contest, subjectively. Then there's the senior class officers, junior class officers, sophomore class officers. So there's like for each class.
Okay.
Is there a freshman class? I remember. Like it. No, there wasn't at Alta, because there was which this is a correction corner for you, Kevin, because you said in Utah.
I know, I did.
Yeah, it's just St. George. So my middle school was 7, 8, 9.
Yes.
I went to freshman year in my middle school.
I said all of Utah last episode.
Yeah.
It's just Southern Utah that has the
intermediate
K through 5, 6th and 7th, 8th and 9th, 10th and 12th school system. It's weird.
So I tried to be a senior class officer. Ran and lost, thank goodness, because I have not attended a high school reunion and I never will. But I would have had to be planning them if I won.
You're telling me, wait.
Like,
so you're telling me
they can't make you.
Yeah.
It would have been fine.
It's a senior class officer. If you're a senior class officer,
yeah.
It extends to 10
yes.
years past your.
They're adding me constantly to the group to be like class of 2013 reunion coming up. They're constantly adding me to the group. I'm constantly leaving. Then I get added back.
No way.
Yes. To this day, they are 31 years old and they are going to be planning the high school. They did one for 5 and 10.
That's insane.
I know. High school forever. So.
Wow.
My slogan, though, have I ever told you this? My slogan was, "This ginger has a soul." I thought that was kind of funny. And I like Photoshopped myself with a halo and wings.
Wow.
And
I don't think you can get away with that these days, though.
Why?
I think ginger's a slur now.
Oh, thank goodness. It should be. So I like campaigning.
That was really offensive to you, but you used it as your slogan?
If you can't beat them, join them. I was like, I'll just lean into this.
Did you actually feel offended when people called you a ginger?
Yes, because I'm not a ginger. I don't have freckles. I don't have the super fair skin. I'm not a ginger.
That's why you were offended?
Yes. If
That's
you're
pretty
gonna call me
Yeah,
that's kind of true. I was offended for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I was offended that they were calling me ginger because I'm not one of those.
Ginger. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so but also
We're
campaigning.
canceled. We're done.
Just cut it out. You're editing. Just cut it out. In high school, it's like public humiliation to campaign for this, though. You have to carry around a huge sign for the whole week of elections to show that you're running. And you get your friends to do it too. Yeah, this is. Have I ever told you this?
I don't think so.
You would die. You would, because this is something that you would absolutely never do and would probably hate all the people that did it.
Probably.
Like a huge poster. I mean, it's a huge sign. Double-sided of my picture, "This ginger has a soul," and you carry it around in campaign for the week, and your friends do too. And so then by the end of the week, or maybe it's even 2, people vote. So yeah, I lost. Okay, so but then I don't know who decides that you still need some other people to be senators. So I was a senator in high school, and I think like the teachers just picked me because they're like, yeah, she's a good kid, whatever.
That's your pity reward.
Okay, so all of that to say,
That just means you lost, but we still have to.
But I
let
was
you
like
do
a good
something.
enough kid. Exactly, it really was, but I didn't care because I was only doing student government to try to do it in college. And the day that the colleges came to like have college day, you know, you don't know.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, and I signed up to help in the room where my brother was going to go to college because I just copied him, essentially.
Okay.
Like, he did a lot of work and research into, like, what makes a good college. And so I was like, oh, he already chose this one. Must be a good school. I think I'll go there, too. And so I didn't do any of the work that he did. But I signed up to help in the SUU room for their presentations all day because the student government was just helping. And so I met the woman at SUU that was over ambassadors. And so she was the one that was like, oh my gosh. So then it was like an interview. I was like being all helpful and...
Was it an interview?
No, but it's
just,
networking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to know her there, and she was like, you should really come down and do this leadership weekend. Like, you should do this. And so I did. So that's why I became an ambassador, and it paid for my school. So that's why I wanted to do it. And it was like a job. It was a lot of work, but
like what kind of stuff, just briefly, like what does being an ambassador even mean?
That means
Do they call it ambassadors at like other universities?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a presidential ambassador, but
what is that?
I'm just saying it was presidential ambassador. This is a cooler name.
What's the difference?
It means nothing. I don't know. It's just a cooler name.
You really don't know?
No.
In your
your
title was presidential ambassador.
Yeah, PA.
And you don't know what that were there just regular ambassadors?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay. So the ambassadors were over recruiting. So we would give campus tours. We would host the high schoolers when they came to visit the college, you know. Like, we did these overnight events. Oh,
I know.
Yeah, because I was still doing
Red
it
Riots.
when we were married. Yeah, isn't that criminal that they made me do that when we were married? So, but it was great because then I also could work in that office like as an actual job and also make money. So it was amazing. I actually would recommend it to everybody because you have like an instant group of friends, and they were really great people. I have nothing bad to say about that experience. Really great. Made a lot of good friends that way, and it's a good scholarship.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our story really quick.
Okay.
If you're enjoying the Moxie Moron Show, please like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, or leave a rating and review on your favorite podcasting platform and share the show with someone. Also, if you really want to support the show and get this thing off the ground, consider signing up for my Patreon, where you can receive early access to episodes, exclusive episodes with my family and close friends, and more exclusive perks. If you're listening to this, you're helping make my dream a reality. So thank you.
Because
it's unconventional.
Because that crossed over. Like, you were already an ambassador, but you continued to be an ambassador after we had met. Let's see. So I guess we got to hear it from your perspective.
I want you to go first.
You want me to go first?
Well, what do you want to just start our little dating story?
Well, I mean, we got to start with the mission. We met on our mission.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned several times, I think last episode, that I served in St. Louis, which is where we currently live now. And you also served in St. Louis at about the same time.
Yeah.
And
but we didn't know each other very well while we were here.
While we were missionaries, right?
Kevin Hayden.
Yeah, I didn't like sister missionaries.
The girl missionaries.
I still kind of don't, but
yeah.
But I was in a relationship. I was writing a girl.
Now he wants to talk about the exes.
No, I don't right now. But that's why. That was a big reason as to why I didn't.
You were like, don't care.
Yeah, I gave him the cold shoulder.
And that's fine.
And but I have admitted truly that I
look in the camera and say it. What are you gonna say?
That Sister Broadhead, Ashley, sitting across from me, was one of the missionaries that I could tolerate a little bit
my gosh.
more.
No, you said I was cool.
She was kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay.
But I also was a little bit cringed out at the whole,
Oh, okay. That's weird. No, I thought you were gonna say when I took your camera.
No. Wait, what?
Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
no,
yes.
that was you guys were so like, oh my gosh, Elder Serage gonna
funny.
hate us so much because
Yeah,
they
you're
stole
like,
you stole my camera and took a bunch of pictures with it, and I was like,
Delete.
yeah. I didn't think either way about it. I was
I
just
know.
like,
I don't know what I thought you were gonna do
hilarious,
with
dude.
them. Yeah, I don't. Whatever.
tossed them in the trash. But
Yeah, but we met here.
yeah, we of course you really didn't like me.
That's true. And when I first met, and I think we were probably in the same area for way longer than I remember, because I don't really remember.
I mean, so
You.
technically it's not the same area, but
Yeah.
you were the sister training
leader.
Yeah, she was
I
in
was the
leadership
boss.
over my area, and so she
Yeah.
would you'd show up to our district meetings.
And the
from
first
time
time
to
I met Kevin, he told me some of his personal philosophies and like especially his views on like marriage,
which
and,
we'll talk about as well.
and I was like literally I said good luck. The words I said were good luck finding someone that's gonna fall for that.
She said that to me. She said that to me in a district meeting.
I fell for it.
And then just a few years later, she did fall for it. She also really didn't like me because I didn't bring my scriptures to district meeting.
That is true. But I've said that was judgmental and that I shouldn't have been so. Oh, sorry. I'm getting away from this microphone. It cut out.
And there was a big long story about that, but we literally had to cram everything in our apartment into a scout trailer and
I just would have brought my scriptures.
and live out of it
If it
for
were
3
me.
days. And I had packed them away too far into the trailer on accident. And so I was like, well, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some scriptures at district meeting. So I didn't feel the need to bring them. And that was like the worst thing I could have done in Ashley's eyes.
Were there scriptures at district meeting?
Yes.
No, there weren't. That's why I noticed that you didn't have them, because you didn't have them to read.
You didn't have any?
I did. Oh, I
Bingo.
thought you meant extras, like just
That's
laying
not
around.
what I said.
Yeah, but when we're like,
If
you know
I
what?
needed to
Let's
read out of the
this.
scriptures-
Let's read this scripture. And then you're like, I don't have my scriptures.
Yeah,
and
and
I was
I'm-
like, what?
Yeah, and I'm like,
You're on your mission.
heaven forbid I have to borrow somebody's.
Okay, so we met here, but we didn't know each other. And
So yeah, we didn't.
okay, so then we're home. Yeah, this is just like neither here nor there.
Yeah, that nothing happened.
It's just
on
like
the
I'm
mission.
obviously still mad that you didn't bring your scriptures to district meeting.
Yeah. And then for whatever reason, obviously not mad enough.
It was the pool party. That's where
Oh,
we reconnected at the Morgans.
That's where I regained a little bit of your respect.
But
Just
then,
enough to get an invite to future events. But yeah, that was,
I guess,
we had a mission reunion and we just got
chatting.
chatting in the same circle, and that was when you were like, hey, this guy's actually not the worst human being.
Not
Oh,
then.
I still was.
There was 2 pool parties.
There was.
First pool party was fine. I was kind of still neutral, but I also knew, well, maybe I didn't know that yet. But that was the one where you guys were like, let's go bowling. And me and Paige were like, yeah. And then we got in the car and we're like, we're not going bowling. And we went to get cheesecake.
Yeah, wild
I know.
move.
So was it you that called me? Who called me?
Insane.
And you're like, are you guys coming? I don't know. I didn't know why you guys thought we would come. Oh,
I don't know, because you said you
yeah,
were.
but it was like, okay, no, I did know this because there was other girls going that I think like at the time had a crush on you or one of you, the group. I don't know. But when me and Paige got in the car, we were like, we're not going to that. going, because you guys were all going to like have some sort of flirty date.
Yeah, see, that's not
And
the
we were
case.
like,
That clearly
not
wasn't
interested. Okay, but I think for the girls it was, but I was
I think
like,
maybe for you.
no, I didn't go.
Exactly.
Anyway, so
because
we went
that's
to
how
get
you saw
cheesecake.
it,
So
and I was
then-
like, dude, let's just go bowling.
So then there's the second pool party, and that was really fun. And Kevin was like having the time of his life. Kevin was like heading up these pool games.
Was I?
Yes, the match game. You got everybody, and I didn't have my
that's
swimming
true.
suit because I came straight from work.
In all fairness, it was kind of lame. I had to swoop in and save that party.
I planned that party.
Yeah, I helped you bring stuff out of your car.
Yeah, you did. You were the only one. That's true. Wow. Why don't you help me unload stuff from my car now that we're married? I literally came back. I'm like, can anybody help me? I have a ton of drinks.
Help you bring stuff out of your car.
Anyway, so that was really endearing. But at the time, I was pursuing someone else. That kind of gave me the cold shoulder. And so, but then I remember so distinctly, I'm sitting on the stairs of the deck and we're watching everybody swimming because I didn't have my swimming suit, and we were playing kickball, but it was like super lame.
Yeah, Ashley planned a pool party.
I
Didn't
came
plan to go
straight-
swimming.
Yeah, that's true. But I also didn't really know who was coming. I got forced into planning it. This is okay. So I'm sitting on the steps with this other girl, and oh gall,
We can just skip over this.
okay. Well, it's kind of important because this is when it changed for me.
Okay, all right, fine. That's
This person we really still love, and like it's just I will seem like the bad person here, but she's like, Elder Serage is so cute. That's what she says to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, go for him, you know. And then we kind of talked about it, and she's like, I kind of like him or whatever, confiding in me, and then I was like, wait, he is pretty cute,
dude. Actually, that I'm just now realizing that is like
kind of a jerk thing that I did.
Well, yeah, but also it's evidence to the fact that you know how I said this just the other day that like women value the man that's taken.
But it wasn't that,
dude,
you
that
weren't-
happened.
But you weren't taken at the time.
I know, but it literally the switch flipped as soon as you heard another woman was like, hey,
but I think that
which is crazy to me.
But I think that was already happening at the first pool party too. I think you guys were just great friends, and I think she just confided in me, and
well, more to the point.
Yeah,
it wasn't until she straight up told you.
Because I already knew. My point is, I already knew that. I had known it for a while.
Okay, all right. Well,
but then I just kind of was watching you head up this game, and you were like so fun, and everyone was having so much fun because of you that I was like, he is kind of cute.
I don't remember that at all.
Fast forward, that's crazy.
I mean, I remember playing the match game. I don't remember being
and you were like, all right,
captain of
everybody, all right, get everybody out on the side of the pool, and then you like you were the one, you were like doing what I do at the youth stuff. Anyways, so, but then that was like in the summer, and we didn't start hanging out again for a couple months.
Yeah, so you went to college just a little bit north of where I lived.
Yes, but before that, still during the summer, I was working. I had this really great job that my mom lined up for me. You were going on a road trip back to the mission with other people, and I got added to a group text that you were in.
Oh, yes.
And they were planning this road trip, and they wanted me to go because I was friends with some of the other people that were going. And I was like, I literally have a job. I can't go. And Kevin says, I quit my job so that I could go. Just quit your job.
Which I did.
Yeah, he did. And he said, just quit your job. And I was like, no. So they printed out a picture of me and brought it in the car like Flat Stanley. And that is the first photo of you and I together, is you by a picture of me in the backseat.
That's true.
Which is kind of weird.
That's true. But that group text was
so fun.
Yeah.
That group text is what did it for me, because Kevin is really good.
I am
in
an
a group
absolute
text.
fiend for a good group text.
And he just tears it up. He is so funny in a group text, like so funny. So then I was like, oh my gosh, okay, so he is cute and he's hilarious. So then that's why I invited you to hang out when I was down at school. Because we were having a game night. And I lived with people from the mission that knew you. And so long story.
So that's kind of how it went down.
Yeah. And I was like, invite. But the funny thing is the first time we had that game night, it kind of fell apart. And so I texted you and I was like, hey, it's not really happening anymore. You can come hang out if you want. So you came and it was really just like 4 of us.
Yeah.
But it was still really fun. So look who's here.
Our third guest has arrived.
Come here, Mars.
Mr. Mars.
Anyway.
So then we well, I'll quickly mention our whole we got to rewind back to the whole good luck finding somebody that will fall for that. So my thing was that I wasn't going to get my wife a wedding ring. We don't have them. I don't have a wedding band. I have nothing. Mm-hmm. You don't either. Mm-hmm. And that was the big thing at that meeting anyway. That was like, okay, yeah, you're not gonna get married then, buddy. Yeah. And I also never hated the idea of a huge reception, hated the idea of just like the whole, I mean, really just all the, like the big proposal. People have like big proposals and
it's all a big spectacle.
Got to take good pictures and stuff. And I was just never, I never condemned it.
Yeah.
But I just was like, that it means nothing.
And that wasn't completely foreign to me. So yeah.
It means nothing to me. Yeah, that's true, which I later found out. But the whole, like the wedding ring thing, I feel like now is as good as time as ever to defend my views on that.
Is he seriously going to choose you over me? Oh my gosh. He came over. He toyed with me.
Hey, buddy.
Mars loves Kevin so much more than me, and it just drives me nuts. He toyed with me. He came over like he was going to choose me, and then he didn't.
Okay, so we had... So I don't feel like I wasn't going to get my wife a wedding ring, and I will have, I feel like I have heard every single possible argument. I mean, you can only imagine.
Yeah, this is like a serious hot take.
Yeah, you can only imagine how many people, like when they found that out, that they were like,
they flamed you.
Yeah, like obviously you are,
they
and
still
you're you're crazy, or you're just a jerk, or you're like whatever it is. But I mean, I still have not heard a sound argument.
Well, it's just tradition. So when Kevin first told me that, I was like, okay, yeah. And because it sounds like it has some shock value when you first say that, because everyone in our culture is so used to it. But there are other cultures that they don't wear a ring. It's like...
Exactly. That's like the... because
and
so
your
that's
whole
where
point
I went.
is it's just like, it's literally just a symbol. It doesn't make the relationship better or worse.
It's a tradition.
It's an expensive thing.
Yeah, it's a tradition that's just simply too expensive for what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is people are like, it's supposed to symbolize your marriage, and I'm like, dude, that you don't need a ring to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like you're kind of getting scammed if you feel like you can't represent or symbolize your marriage without buying a very expensive ring. And then people would come and tell me and be like, dude, just at least get a ring pop and propose with that. Just anything.
Yeah. Nobody ever really said that to me.
And I was like, that you're missing the whole point. I was like, the fact that you think that it's that necessary.
Yeah.
Is the whole problem. It's the whole reason that I'm not doing it, is because we have this idea. And as you can also attest, there were just so many people that couldn't even, the tradition was so ingrained in their brains that they couldn't even understand that we were engaged without rings.
That's true. People didn't believe
we'd be like we're engaged, and they're like, oh, let's see the ring.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we don't have them. And you're like, so when are you going to be engaged? And I was like, we have a wedding date.
Yeah, but
for December
but we can't-
17th.
I don't really fault people for that though.
15th.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I can never remember.
No, it's the 15th.
You don't remember.
Yeah, I never do either. But the problem is, it's like the year. I get the year and the day. It is the 15th of 18.
It's 15th.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't. But you can't fault people for that because it's foreign. Like that's the first time. They associate being engaged with getting a ring.
And I don't condemn everybody for playing along with the tradition. It was the flack that I got that I had a problem with. It was like, because I could sit here and tell everybody else to do whatever you want. You want to go buy your wife a ring and you want to propose and you want to stage this whole thing and make it a big thing. Like that's what you both want to do. Go ahead. Great.
Yeah.
But it was the idea that I was like, I don't want to do that. And everybody was like, you're a horrible person then. And I was like, okay, well then you don't understand. You've taken the tradition way too far. And that's not the only tradition, by the way, that is treated that way.
Yeah, and I think that my family had a difficult time coming around to that because
everybody does.
Yeah, yeah, and they're like, it shows commitment or whatever. But the thought that I had that kind of changed my thinking on it, as I was like, yeah, well, there's hundreds of thousands of people that buy a ring, they're committed, and they get divorced. So it's not making any relationship better. Anyway, so that's one of our hot takes.
That's the other big argument that I've always heard is like, oh, don't you, well, I shouldn't say I've always heard, but there have been several people, particularly other women, that are like, that wouldn't fly for me because then you're going to get hit on. You never get hit on by other women. And I'm like, first of all, no.
Yeah, because
that has never happened.
We're not going to the club.
Yeah. And number two.
There's one time in my life that I was approached by someone in Target and that's it. He didn't know I was married. Remember that?
Yeah.
I was like looking for towels and he was super nice and I was like, sorry, I'm married. And that was one time.
Yeah. And I hear that and then you come home, tell me that. And I'm not like,
mad.
How dare he?
Right.
Like it's and that's the thing is if I'm out there and some girl, again, it's never happened, but hypothetically, if a girl comes up to me and she is like she's trying to hit on me and flirt with me, you're telling me that like she has the power to do that whether I have a ring on or not.
Yeah.
But you're telling me that the difference between me just like playing into that and then eventually cheating on my wife has everything to do with whether I was wearing a ring or not?
Right. I
was like, they can come and flirt with you whether they know you're married or not.
Well, and also,
and if you cheat, and you're like, oh, it was because she came and flirted with me,
right?
And that's because you weren't wearing a ring. I'm like, dude, if that's the reason that you're cheating on your spouse, then you were never worth it in the first place, and I'm not going to be that heartbroken over losing you.
And plenty of people do wear rings and cheat.
Yeah, it's just like it.
But like
every major argument that I've ever heard is just. It never
to each their
logically own. It doesn't check out for me.
But to each their own. Like we don't care that people think that's important. If it's important to them, that's great. We just want like the same respect. To each their own.
Right.
Yeah. So that was unconventional. That
wedding reception was the same thing.
But that was a mutual. That wasn't like necessarily something
you were more on board with that.
You didn't want to die on. I went through my sister's reception and it was like the worst day of my life. So I didn't think it was very fun.
Just very stressful.
So we just got married.
Yeah, it was pretty plain. Didn't have a proposal. I mean, it was just like, hey,
let's get married.
We should get married. And then we did. And
we still are.
And yeah, I mean, I feel like we're in a really good place. Mm-hmm. And anyway, I'm sure as people have more questions about that,
we're going to get flamed in the comments.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not prepared for that.
Yeah, it's okay. You
You're
won't have
used
to.
to it.
You won't
I'm
have
not
to
used
return to the episode. So,
what do you mean? This is my last chance to speak?
No, I'm just saying you won't have to confront the. Like I'll have the opportunity to offer my rebuttal to those to any comments and things, but
Yeah.
anyway, so we get married. You got the job, you got the teaching job. So you wanted to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And you got explain how you got that first job, because that first job was like that thing where
an internship,
but it was only like 3 people or even 1 person that was gonna get.
What do you mean?
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
It was like the first job that you got.
Yeah.
They picked, like, I swear it was like 1 person that could that.
Well, we interviewed for that job. We interviewed with the principal for that job.
But it was like a special internship where it was like,
yeah,
that you got the job.
Right. You were being hired for the job. Yeah. So when I was in my last semester, the way, like, typically you graduate in, okay, I got to try to remember this. Like, for education, you want your semesters to line up that your last semester is in the spring so that you can do your student teaching, graduate, and then that summer apply for jobs and be hired to start in the fall. But my last semester, like, I couldn't do my student teaching in the spring because I still had classes. So I was going to be allowed to graduate without having done my student teaching. And then, or you know what? I think I have that wrong. But you do, like, I think you graduate and then you do student teaching. I honestly just can't remember. But the way my semesters lined up, I was going to be done in the spring, and you can't get a job until you student teach. And so schools in, I don't know if it's everywhere, but schools in Utah, elementary schools would allow you to be hired as the classroom teacher and not get paid for the first basically semester because that's your student teaching, but you are called an intern. So you don't get benefits, you don't get paid, but you are the teacher and you just get like a lot of observations from the people from the college and stuff. So I applied for it like it was a job. And a couple other girls in my class did as well. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, but isn't it like if you didn't get that, then you'd have to just like, then you wouldn't get to be a teacher and you'd have to like be more of a student teacher.
What I would have had to do if I didn't get that job is wait all summer, student teach in the fall, and then not have a job until the following school year. Because some people are hiring mid-year, but typically not.
Right.
I would have had to wait until the next hiring season.
So that's how you got the first one.
Blessings.
Yeah, that was huge. So tell us about this is your time to pop off on education. Tell us what you know.
Okay. Well, everybody always, there's.
let me quickly preface this by saying that, because I know that you won't give yourself enough credit, but I feel like every principal, every person that you have worked under, even at like the district level, has recognized that you are a very, very good teacher.
Thank you.
So
some of that's probably subjective, but
it's all subjective.
But I'm a good employee, like I said earlier.
Staggering evidence, unique evidence that would suggest that you are far above the average teacher.
I do think that I'm a good teacher. Yeah. I would admit that.
So tell us about it.
Okay, well, I think there's a lot of problems in education, as most people agree. But the problems that I see are very probably micro. I mean, like when people are talking about education at like the government level, I have no idea, because that doesn't affect my life. And that was kind of a hot take when, like, during the election, when I cannot. Like, is this all gonna be on camera?
I don't even know if they can see him.
So cute. He's probably his little ears.
Probably.
Mars is our pride and joy. He's so cute.
Every time he moves, we're floored.
Like, but I'm so jealous right now that he chose you. Like, I love him so much. So I just don't think that I have ever been affected by the federal government in my day-to-day. So during the election, it was like, obviously, I don't know, what's the word, like divisive and I don't know. I don't even know. But I just was like, I don't really care because I don't feel affected. So the issues that I see in education are very micro, local, state level. They probably could be changed at a higher level. I have no idea. Just want to preface that. I have taught at 3 different school districts and at 4 different schools. So I feel like I actually do have a pretty good perspective. A lot of the people I teach with now have only taught in that district, and I think it limits their perspective on issues that are happening. But
is that normal for like a teacher younger, like early in their career, to have jumped around schools like that?
I don't think so. I mean, think about all of our friends in Utah. They've only taught in Washington County, and I would probably still be teaching there had I not.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know.
So I do think I have a unique perspective having taught in 2 states, 3 districts, 4 schools. So I think, number one, everybody always says that teachers are underpaid. Have you heard that a bajillion times?
Yeah, everybody's heard that.
Yeah, okay. And then people are like, well, they only work 180 days and they only blah, blah, blah. You know, like they always rebuttal with all these reasons why they're paid fairly.
Right.
And
which I'm kind of more, I mean, I feel like teachers are underpaid. I mean, I'm married to one, but I also feel like it's kind of course, I'm not a teacher, but I feel like
this is the argument
people are
that I
making
hear.
a bit of a big deal about it.
Well, the argument that I hear is that they do so much work for free.
Yes.
And that I think is bullcrap because I don't do anything for free. I don't stay late. I don't really go early.
Yes.
If I'm staying late, it's because I'm talking to my friends. I don't feel overwhelmed by work because, well, that's kind of a separate issue. But
I've already experienced plenty of things, even with you, that I'm like, you're kind of going the extra mile here.
Right. And I do sometimes because it's just fun. Like,
yeah. And if that's what you want to do,
right.
Great. If that's what the kind of teacher you want to be, great. But I feel like that is a big part that's playing into this
underpaid. Yeah. So I think this is what I think. It's about value. Everyone says teachers are these like, we need teachers. Teachers are so great. They're changing the world. They're so great, blah, blah, blah. If I am truly that valued of a member of society, then you should be paid that value.
Also true.
So this is like
that's a good argument. Take. That's a good argument for the underpayment.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Because in my opinion.
I do agree that teachers are underpaid, but it's just not for the reasons that people think.
Sure.
So I think that if our value is so great, then that should be taken into consideration. But I also think comparative to other jobs that need the level of education that teachers have, that's also where we're underpaid because most teachers have a master's degree. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, and I'm significantly underpaid by people doing stupid jobs online that have like, usually at a job, you're like, oh, you have a master's degree? Here you are on the pay scale and you're like, but teachers aren't really, I mean, yeah, you get a raise, but not really. And most teachers will get a master's degree and then 30 more credits because then that maxes you out on the pay scale. So they're like highly educated. They're constantly having to go to like professional development to renew their license. And so none of that really is considered in your pay. So for those reasons, I think teachers are underpaid for the education that they have and for the value that they add to society. But this is probably controversial, but I think that teachers should be paid based on merit. And we've kind of talked about this before. And I don't know all the answers. Like I haven't figured it out. But if you're working at a company and you're good at your job, you get paid a ton in any other business except education.
I don't know if that's true.
If you're like valuable to the company,
I agree.
You get paid more money.
I agree with what you're saying that you should be paid more for your merit. I think I'm just saying that I think that's like an issue with not only teaching jobs, but like many jobs.
Well, maybe.
We as a society just care way more about degrees and levels of education, your test scores or whatever, the paper, whatever's on your paper, whatever's on your resume, rather than how good at the job are you actually.
Yeah, and this is what I really feel strongly about.
What results are you rendering?
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. So I Yeah, so there have been conversations about merit-based pay, and there's some politicians now kind of talking about it, but teachers don't like it. But I think it would be better because time and time again, I have been punished, for lack of a better word, for being better at my job than. So, for example, I taught at a really difficult school when we first moved here. I was being paid less than a teammate of mine simply because it's years of experience. You get a raise every year. They think you should be a better teacher if you've taught longer. So this teacher had been teaching for like 20 years and I had been teaching for 6. She's doing a horrible job. They're taking students from her class and putting them in my class. Do you remember this?
Yes.
And then we're getting new students. You always get new students. I'm getting all the move-ins being added to my class. And I said to the principal, it is not my turn. I have the biggest class. It's not my turn to get this student. And he literally was like, I know, but we can't give it. We can't give this kid to this person, this teammate. And I was like, then why does she have a job?
And that's like actual dialogue.
Yes, I said, it is not my turn to have a new student. I mean, you know that I was so frustrated at this school. I was so over it. I was being mistreated.
Right.
But I'm being paid less. Okay, so in any other job, if you're not performing well, you're fired. It's like in education, if you're not performing well, we're just going to punish your teammates that are doing well and give them harder students and more students. So I'm being paid less but doing more work. If pay was based on your merit, that wouldn't happen. Then I would be like, sure, give me all the hard kids, pay me for it. And I will teach them happily because I'm doing more work. So I think that there's probably a lot of things that need to go into it if you do merit-based pay. I think the parents should have a say. I think that's the clientele. I mean, parents are so annoying, can be really great, the parents of students. But I think they should have a say. And because it is their kid that you're teaching. They don't need to have all the say, but I think some say. And I do actually think that you should consider student outcomes and data. And everyone's like, well, no, because there's always that kid that can't, that has a reading disability.
Right. It's not always the teacher's fault that they're not
always
providing.
But that's why
results.
that's why it's just part of the merit-based pay. And I do think that even if they have a reading disability, they should still be learning, and they can. They just won't grow as much. So it needs to be a measure of growth, and even if they start super low, they still need to grow. So even if my student started at first grade level and ended at second grade level, that's still a year of growth. So that should be a factor because that's the job. That is the job, and that should be considered when you're bringing value. That is the value to bring. I also think it should be based on your administrators and observations. And teachers don't really like getting observed. I mean, if you're doing because right now the way it's structured is you really only have like 2 or 3 observations throughout the year that are evaluative, that you get a number for, which isn't really fair in saying how your value is, because a teacher could just completely fake it. They know your principal's coming in, they put on some extra show.
Right.
So it would need to be like a lot of evaluations, unexpected often, to really kind of see who you are as a teacher. And teachers that are doing what they should be doing wouldn't have an issue with that. They should be like, yeah, come in anytime. I'm slaying it in here. And teachers that suck would hate it. But then you would start to see either the teachers that are slacking off would do better, or the teachers that truly suck would be let go or taught to be better.
Exposed first.
Yeah, but like maybe they could be great given some help and guidance. So I just think that teaching overall would increase if pay was based on your merit.
And so I want to revisit that school again in just a minute, but and we kind of you kind of touched up on like the point of not every kid renders the result despite you doing a good job. What are some other reasons that you think you're not getting paid by merit?
What do you mean?
What is the argument to what you're saying? Why are people
Not wanting that?
Why are teachers not getting paid by
That's a
merit?
great question, and I really don't know. Teachers that have been teaching for a long time probably feel like they've earned the higher pay because you do go up each year.
But do you feel like they are just better teachers?
I think that they do.
Just because of the time
I think
that they've spent.
Yes, and they should be, and many of them are, but many of them are not because they don't care. And I'm fortunate that that's like nobody that I work with right now. But I've taught with a lot of people that are like not,
hang on to the old ways.
Yeah. So that's the thing is like, there are so many good teachers that are younger, newer, that are truly doing better, outperforming other teachers, and they shouldn't be punished for that. Like, let them cook, pay them what they're worth, and everybody would try harder. And if they don't, then they don't have to. Like, that's the thing. So teachers are also always expected to be going to professional development, like all the time. And a lot of it's always offered in the summer. And like just this past summer, there was this big AI summit that we were invited to. And I like read through the email to see if it's paid. And if it's not paid, I'm not going. But if they paid you for that, if attending that made me more valuable, I would go. Of course I'd go. So I just think any reason for it to be merit-based would only elevate teachers' efforts, like what they're learning, they're out. Like, I just think it would be better. I don't see how there would be a downside.
Right.
Except the student outcomes. But that wouldn't be the whole thing. That would just be a part of it. So then if you did have, like, that's what I said. I don't know the answer, but there's got to be a way to structure it where if you do have a handful of kids that are truly have like disabilities that they can't learn, they can't progress as much as you should expect them to, that they're just not factored into your pay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to come back to that first school, because that was like the first school that we were at here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about that because that was like you hear a lot about systemic racism. That's like one of the big things in politics today, and everybody's freaking out about systemic racism. And that was like the first time in my life anyway that we had, like, I felt like we had like a front row seat as to what that looks like in real life and what that actually kind of means, at least to some degree.
Yeah.
And that's because, and you can stop me anytime to correct me, but I felt like so this was a school that was how do I politically say this correct?
It was in a very low income area.
Low income area, and it was predominantly.
Sorry, I just pulled that whole thing.
That's fine.
Yeah, so
predominantly
the demographic it was like 90%
Black and Hispanic kids.
Yeah, and it was probably even more Hispanic than Black, and there was a very small amount of white kids. Yeah,
and it was and in layman's terms, it was in the heart of the ghetto, St. Louis downtown, like very, very, like we said, low income.
Yeah.
Low income is the politically correct way to say.
Yeah, I don't think what you just said is PC, but it's gonna be fine. I already heard you use the term "dirty ginger." Okay, yeah, that's
earlier,
true.
So
okay, anything goes.
I think if we're gonna get canceled, it would have been back then.
Okay.
But anyway, that was a huge eye opener, because it was like the second it was very apparent.
Yeah.
That you were a good teacher. Like right when you showed up, all of the staff, the administrative staff was like, right, they were giving you all the students, and they gave you all the responsibilities. They clearly saw that you were doing a good job. And but you were frustrated because you couldn't you didn't feel like you were teaching them.
What do you mean?
You like as well as you had taught other students because at that school half the battle was more of a babysitting job rather than a teaching job. And it was just because there was so much behavioral issues going on at that school.
Yes, but
or why? Okay,
yeah.
why?
Well, yeah. So typically and this used to bug me when I taught in Utah in an extremely wealthy area, because I would go to these like district meetings where we would go to Title I schools, lower income area, and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, you don't even know the problems that we deal with." And I'd be like, "Okay, there's problems everywhere. There's hard kids everywhere." But there actually is some truth that the issues that exist in lower income areas do affect behavior, and it's like it's the family.
Yeah,
really.
This kind of rocked your world.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, yeah. So
like all the problems that you had teaching in Utah.
Oh yeah.
Instantly became insignificant.
So stupid. Yeah. So yes and no. The behaviors were extremely difficult, but it was also, and this is, I know we'll probably get into it, but the school, I was with kids from 7:30 to 4.
Yeah, the hours were crazy.
And that's why I thought I said, I am a babysitter. You're advertising to this community because it was a charter school. You're advertising to this community, come to this school. You could have a full-time job. We'll watch your kids. Our teachers will watch your kids from 7:30 to 4. And that's another reason I thought it was babysitting.
So, so that was frustrating.
Yeah.
And it didn't help that the better the job that you did, the more punished that you were.
Right.
Essentially.
The harder kids that I got and the more kids.
With no compensation.
Correct.
Zero.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Merit-based pay.
Right. And so, but that was the thing is that you had made the concerns.
Yeah. Known.
And the administration didn't do anything about it. They couldn't do anything about it because they couldn't.
It was about money.
Because it was about money.
Yeah.
They didn't have money. And so it's like, okay, so why don't they have money? Is because they're in a low income area. No,
because they're a charter school. The funding is completely different for a charter school.
Okay, explain that.
The reason, so I went at the end of the year, I was like, okay, I gotta quit or something has to change. And I felt like I had a good relationship with the principal. And so I met with him a few times and said, like, I'm thinking about leaving. Here are my concerns. And like what I explained, really like what they were doing was bad for kids. And that's what I mean, right. And he said the reason it won't change is because we're getting our funding because of what we're doing. They were implementing this structure that is like, I won't even get into it because it's so long and nobody would even care about it. But they were implementing this structure that was making our school day longer, that no one was adhering to. Literally no one. So I was like, okay. If the school if we were funded by a college, I'm like, if the college comes to see how this is going, no one's doing it. And it's not even good for kids. And so, but he's like, no, it won't change because that's where we're getting the money.
So that was the issue, was that it was a lot of the problems at the school were caused by what was getting the funding.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah.
And so it was like, XYZ needs to change. And they're like, it's not going to change because as soon as it changes, we stop getting funded.
Right.
And that, to me, I mean, to somebody that's not in it, just hearing it on the outside, like that sounds like the cycle. That sounds like we're not getting the proper education.
Yeah.
Because
but there's so much that just goes, there's so much, like it's not, because flip it. Think about merit-based pay. That school is a hard place to work for so many reasons. The quality of teachers there, I mean, there are great teachers there. And heaven forbid if any of them hear this and think that I'm talking poorly about them, because there are good teachers there. There were also awful teachers, and those teachers will know who I'm talking about because it was such an issue. And that's the other thing. I went to my principal and said, like, these people cannot possibly be employed to do this job. And they're like, yeah, but we need a hot body in a room. They literally needed the warm body.
Right. And
so that was another issue. But if it was merit-based pay, because in that community, in an extremely low income area in a city like St. Louis, you need the best. So pay them to be the best, then that's going to be a competitive job. If you can pay them more to be like, this is the value that you're bringing to the community, then we're going to pay you a ton because this job is really hard. And then I wouldn't have probably left.
Right.
So the money isn't the only issue because the behavior is harder. So teachers don't like it and they leave. So the teachers that are there are not as great as they probably should be. Like I'm just saying there's a lot of other issues. Like it wasn't just necessarily money or funding, which I think a lot of people think is the biggest issue.
Right.
In low income areas.
Yeah. And I don't know the situation nearly as well as you do. But yeah, I felt like there was just like a level, I don't think it's wrong to say that some schools are just generally better than others and have a more competent staff than others. I don't think that's a secret to anybody. And so I don't really feel bad about saying that I felt like this one had, like you said, there are great teachers everywhere. You're going to find great teachers everywhere. There were great teachers there, ones that we really respected, but there were other ones that were less competent.
Yeah.
And it was so bad. Like the level of competency was so bad. And sometimes it was even at the administrative level.
Yeah.
Which makes it so that you get these, that the kids, like you said, are the ones that suffer from it. And then those kids grow up and they can't get out of this low income area.
Okay, so
And then they end up having kids and they're right back in these schools that set them up for failure.
Like what I noticed, what I really realized is that they are, like if you're starting a race, right, and all the kids in America are starting a race, they are starting at a disadvantage.
Yeah,
already.
they're starting first grade at a disadvantage.
Right.
You showed up to teach a first grade class, and they were every kid in there.
They didn't speak English. Is what
half of them didn't.
Right.
Yeah, but the and the problem is you have somebody, a teacher come in, and they're like, wow, I want to fix this problem.
Yeah.
And I have a passion for this, and I can actually make a difference here.
Yeah.
And teach kids. You get a good teacher in there.
Yeah.
And what happens?
They get
driven away.
Yeah, they get burned out.
Because of the circumstances. And so it's literally just like this.
It's a losing game.
Yeah, and that was eye-opening to me.
I know. So that's merit-based pay.
And
value.
Yeah, so that's
what is the value that you're bringing. So so it was really sad. It was actually a hard choice to leave because I do feel like I was abandoning them. Yeah. And they need good teachers, and there are good teachers there, but those people have like literally dedicated their lives. It's their calling in life to work in these schools because the hours are long. I mean, like the hours are long, and even though we were there long, there's like a handful of kids every day that wouldn't get picked up on time. So the administrators are there well into the evening. And so it's like, that's their life calling.
Which is still very respectable.
Totally. And
very
that's
respectable. It's just for a different
When I made
reason.
the choice to leave, it was like, this is important. It's not my life calling. You know, I think that we're so involved with our church and the family that we wanted to have that it couldn't have been, I wouldn't have been able to do more than one thing. That would have had to be the thing. So the people that are still there that are great, that's their thing. That's what they've dedicated their lives to.
I'm going to pause it.
If you're enjoying the Moxie Moron Show, please like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, or leave a rating and review on your favorite podcasting platform and share the show with someone. Also, if you really want to support the show and get this thing off the ground, consider signing up for my Patreon, where you can receive early access to episodes, exclusive episodes with my family and close friends, and more exclusive perks. If you're listening to this, you're helping make my dream a reality. So thank you.
Okay, that might be a little bit awkward because I actually didn't say that we were taking a break before I paused it.
That's true.
But I might just have like an ad. I got to advertise my own podcast.
Ad break.
Yeah. So is there anything else about education that you want to cover before we?
Yeah. Class sizes are too big. That's the one thing that could be a law.
A law.
It should be a law. Class sizes. Right now I have 14 students. And it has changed. Like I've told you a bajillion times. I'm like, yeah, my job's easy. So in Utah, I had at one point 29 students. And like, that's just torture. All the things that are valuable in education and like evidence-based, you're not accomplishing with 29 students. And if you are, you're freaking running around with your hair on fire and it's a horrible job. So I have 14 students right now and it is life-changing. The things that I can accomplish and simply the data has spoken for itself. My kids are geniuses. They're so smart. They've learned so much because I can read with them every day. I can read with them twice a day. I can do so much because there's only 14 of them.
How do you how would that work though? Because if you in order to shrink the class sizes, you have to get more teachers,
and then you need more schools. Yeah,
and that's
so
like
it's
entire
like a huge
salaries that you have to add on to your budget.
Yeah, it's a huge issue. Like no one's solving it anytime soon. Like talk to the president. Like it's a huge issue, but that's what I've seen has made the biggest difference in how I feel like being able to do this job.
So we don't know how to do it.
No,
but we
absolutely
just,
not.
But
I don't know how to solve the problems. I just know what the problems are. I never said I had the answer.
The priority
but put it into law.
Put it in the priority. Move it up the priority list that the class sizes are.
It's so crazy, Kevin. Like I wish I could. That's when I started working in this district with the small class size. I said it like 100 times. Put me on a national platform to tell everyone the difference that it makes to have a small class.
To tell everybody the problem,
teachers
not the solution.
Won't quit, but everyone's like, teacher shortage. Like, and then it's so funny because they're like, we need to appreciate teachers. We're going to dedicate. This is actually kind of funny. They're like, we're going to just give them, it's American Education Week this week. Did you know that?
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
you didn't get me a gift or anything. Thanks. So, but
you're on
the district is like,
podcast.
we're going to celebrate you. And they have. And my district is so good. I have nothing bad to say. But they're like, we're going to give you lunch. And we're going to give you like all this stuff, you know. And it's like, pay us more. Like that's all anybody wants. And so every time I get a little gift that's like, here's a little crew neck sweater. It's like, save all of the small gifts that you're going to give us throughout the next 20 years and just pay us more. But there's this big joke right now because they're like, teachers, we trust you to educate our children. We trust you to engage with an active shooter.
True.
Yeah, they're like, we trust you to do all this stuff. You're a mandatory reporter. Like, we trust you, but you have no access to the thermostat. They don't let you set the temperature in your classroom. And so every day this week, it's been really cold. And so we're like, Happy American Education Week. You can't change the temperature in your room. We're freezing.
Huge difference at that charter school, by the way, was the training on like an active shit.
But we had that here. We had that here too.
As like serious as it was.
Yeah, the same company came and did it.
Oh,
it's just it's just Utah.
Oh yeah, okay. So I guess it's not the income, it's just St. Louis, which understandable.
The things that are making headlines in Utah are happening. Mars is ripping off a sound panel.
What?
Yeah, he had his little claw in it. You'll probably be able to see it on that camera.
Oh, great.
The things making headlines in Utah are happening every day in St. Louis, but nobody cares. Like they're anyway, and they are serious things. Like if there's a shooter in St. George, like 5 miles away, the schools are going into lockdown. That's like a thing that's happening. There's gunshots. There was gunshots outside that school on a weekly basis, and we were like, it's fine. Don't go to recess. Like
St. Louis.
Yeah. So, and that wouldn't probably happen in the school I'm at now, where if there was gunshots, that would be a big deal. But in the city, yeah, it was like, it's all just drug related. So nobody was really scared, but yeah. So the active shooter drills here are really intense, but I'm really appreciative of them. I feel very much more prepared.
Which, begs the question if that's something that should be treated. I mean, it seems a little bit silly to me that like it's like, oh, we don't have to really worry about it unless it's unless it's a city with a high violent crime rate. It's like we don't care about the safety of the kids or the training of the kids unless it's a little bit more likely to happen. Then,
and I don't even know if that's the decision-making process, but like
it's not. I know it's not.
This is like
black and white like that.
And this is controversial because people condemn America for the school shootings, and I don't know the answer, but I do know that I don't know. I shouldn't even speak on it because I don't know, but from the school shootings that I have looked into, I mean, tragedy every time without saying, but there's protocols in place every time. And usually when something tragic happens is someone hasn't followed. I mean, it's like impossible to get into my school and not be identified. Yeah. I mean, my school has bulletproof windows. Every room has a lock on the inside. And we have these pods, these big pod doors that close and lock. Like, if there was an active shooter to get into my classroom, they would have had to breach like 18 different locked doors. Yeah. So I think schools do a good job. It's a tragedy every time, but if everybody just follows their guidelines, some could be eliminated, but we don't need to go into it because there's...
Yeah, that's gray. Yeah. That's gray.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't feel... Like, because some people are like, oh my gosh, you're a teacher, you're so brave. Do you feel... And I'm like, no, I don't feel in danger.
What else?
I don't know. I think that it's a great job. Everybody always thinks that it's super hard, and it's a job. But I think I have a great school and a great district that make it easier.
I think that's something important to bring up is just to reemphasize like the difference between the places that you've worked and the experience. I mean, it's like it could not be more different depending on the circumstances. It's like not all teachers are generally going through the same experience. I mean, you could have an extremely great experience and also a very terrible one. Yeah.
So that's what I would say. If you're at a school that you're like, I'm burned out. Well, first I would say, are you working for free? Are you doing more than you need to? Because if you are at a good school district, you won't be working more because your district will have bought curriculums that are good. The only time that I'm doing extra work is when the curriculum is lacking and I need to, or if my class is like kind of sucking at something and I need to supplement. But like, I feel like my district has put in a lot of, the teachers at my district, they're the ones that really do it. But there's these curriculum committees and teachers like try it out. And like, so last year my teammate was trying a different curriculum in math than we were. And that's the one we ended up picking. And it's great. So I feel like if you work at a good district, you have good curriculum, you don't need to be working more. Like, what do you need to be doing after school that's like, because you have prep time? It's never enough. Like, my to-do list is never like done. I'm never like, oh, I did everything. It's just ongoing, but you learn to kind of juggle a lot of balls, and then just, if you can't get to it, you don't get to it. It's tomorrow's problem, and who cares? So if you want to quit your teaching job, are you doing work you don't need to do? And are you at a good school? And if you're not, leave, because there's really good schools and really good administrators that make your life easier and your job fun. And if you have a huge class, leave. So then that's the thing. I have all this perspective. Like, Utah's just overpopulated. I think Washington County is a good district. It's just too big.
Yeah, too many kids.
Too many kids in each school, and the district itself could be 5 different districts. But then the freedom that you have, like the district I am right now, there is 1 high school, 1 middle school, 1 elementary school. So we're the only 3rd grade team in the whole district, and we can then do what we want. Like, if I was in Utah and we're like, wow, it would be really great to buy this piece of the curriculum, this decodable text. We want these books. The district would say, no, we can't, because if we buy it for you, we buy 65 sets of them.
Yeah.
Here, they're like, sure, buy them. Like, so I think it just frees you up with what you can do with a budget. And I don't know, it's just so great. So I think Utah's just too big, at least St. George. I don't know about everywhere else. And those schools in the city just, yeah, they have a lot of problems that.
Do you aspire at all to
Be a principal?
well, maybe not even a principal, but just move up to whatever occupation can find the answers to that and make a difference that way?
I don't
Or
know.
do you just like what you do? Because that's a different job
Yeah,
than
it
what
is.
you're doing.
So I had a principal that went on to be like a district employee that then was like, wait, this sucks. I liked education because of the kids, and the kids were then removed. So
Right.
I don't know.
It's a promotion, but it's an entirely different field
Right.
of work.
Yeah, so I think about that a lot. I don't know, because I kind of think the way you get there is through school administration, which I think I would hate. I hate when anybody's mad at me, and people are mad at you all the time.
Yeah.
You can't ever do anything right. No matter what you do, you'll be criticized, even if you're doing
You're
a
like
good
the
job.
referees of the education world.
Yeah, like either the parents are mad at you for something, the teachers are mad at you for something. I mean, people just always like to have a reason to complain. But so I would hate being a principal. And all you do is deal with problems. Like, that's the least favorite part of my day. I always tell my class, I am not a detective. I don't want to solve your problems. I don't want to figure out who's lying. That's like what you would do all day. You would just deal with problems, deal with complaining. So I don't know the route. Like, I don't know if I could go from being a classroom teacher to solving problems like that without going through jobs that I don't want to do. So I don't know. Maybe if the job was available, but I don't know what that job is.
Well, let's talk about the adoption process. So we're adopting a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You've done almost all of the work to make that
Almost.
happen.
What work have you done?
Well, I mean, I've had to do stuff.
Yeah, I have done the work.
You have probably done all of the paperwork at least.
Yes, I have done all of the paperwork.
I mean, I've written a paragraph or two.
What paragraph and where?
I don't know.
Yeah, you haven't. Like literally
I may not have.
to write your like life story, I had to like lay you down and I typed and you dictated because you wouldn't do it. And I'm like, I also was like zhuzhing it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's fine. I wanted to because
You have to judge my life up.
no, but we could argue
Yes.
about this because I feel like I'm a better writer, but you've proven time and time again that I have poor grammar. So
You do have poor grammar. It's not poor. It's just not. I mean,
it's actually my punctuating.
It's just because my dad's like, I've
So
told you,
good.
he's a weirdly crazy good writer.
I know he is, and he'll watch this. By the way,
he got my brother's paper into the Library of Congress.
yeah, and listen,
My brother met Barack Obama because
he did.
yes,
Is that who he said crick to? Who did he say to Barack Obama? No, I don't think it was. It was
he
not
did.
the president of the United States. I would have remembered that. There's no way.
It was.
No. Can we call him now on the show? There's no way it was Barack. We'll fact check. We're going to have a correction corner because there's no way. I would remember it because I know that story. It was not the president.
Wait, should we call him?
Crust?
No, we should call Chris. He was the one that said it.
Okay, I'll call him.
Russ didn't even go.
Okay, but can I just say really quick, because your dad will watch this because he's like so loyal and true. He has insanely good punctuation, but he texts that way too. His text has like an introduction, a body, and a conclusion, and
Yeah.
it's very well
His texts are
punctuated.
ridiculously cringe, but I mean, writing official. I mean, not only did he do that, he got me my iPod in 7th grade. I beat the whole school in that essay contest, and
Do you want me to put it on speaker?
yeah, put it into the microphone.
Okay.
Tell him immediately. Tell him that we're live.
You're talking. He probably won't answer.
You got to get it closer to the mic.
Christian.
What?
Are you surprised that I'm calling you?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever called you in my life.
What's up?
You're live on Kevin's podcast right now.
Okay.
We're wondering if... Oh, it's going to have feedback. When you wrote that essay or when Russ wrote it for you, you know, the award-winning essay,
Sure.
did you meet Barack Obama?
No, I did not.
I told you.
Russ did not write that essay for me. He
helped. He helped.
He helped.
It. Yeah.
Okay, so sorry.
He helped, what's the word? Revise it. He scrutinized it heavily. And so I ended up having to rewrite it a lot. But I did the writing.
Okay.
You didn't meet Barack Obama?
I did not meet Barack Obama. I met the head of the Department of Agriculture, and I do not remember his name.
Oh, that's not Barack
but
Obama.
I do remember that.
I thought you shook hands with the president.
No, the head of the Department of Agriculture, and he, I remember he asked me how I liked it out there, and I about gave Mom a heart attack because I basically said how much I love the Potomac River, and then I followed that with the phrase of, "We ain't got no rivers like that in Utah."
That's what it was. That was the infamous
It was
quote.
really bad. Here I am, the kid who is a finalist for an essay, and I'm saying ain't got no.
Yeah. Okay, so we had that story way wrong. We thought you said
okay,
crick,
but at
and
least
we
tell
thought
me.
Kevin's like, yeah, he said that to Barack Obama. It's like, there's no way.
At least tell me that you.
No, I didn't meet anybody that important. But I mean, he was the head of the Department of Agriculture, so
You were at the
I'm
White
pretty
House,
it's
though, right?
Pretty sure it's an elected position.
Yeah.
You were at the White House, though, right?
No, we didn't go into the White House. We went to the grounds of the White House, and then we actually went to the Kuwait embassy.
Oh, that's cool.
What the heck?
And they served us a dinner, and it was really fancy, just ritzy dinner that we had. And we went to all the monuments. We went to the Washington Monument. We went to the Lincoln Monument. Those kinds of things.
Oh.
But no, I didn't meet the president, unfortunately.
Well, I
We
got
were
that story
wrong.
way wrong.
Yeah, we also thought you said crick, so we're way wrong. I'm glad we called.
Yeah, I mean, it was close. You guys were close. Close enough. I mean, if you want to say I met the president, you can.
Okay.
I already did. Okay. Well,
Okay,
thanks,
thanks.
Chris.
See ya.
Bye.
That's funny.
Crick. I knew it because if he met Barack, I would be telling that story to everybody.
I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah, you
But-
probably have told people that, and
I've told everybody.
you've told them all. Yeah,
Absolutely. So
that's funny.
For everybody, I've told that
Russ is
too.
a good writer.
that was a big lie, but yeah, that's the. I guess that's the bottom line.
Russ is a good
My
writer.
dad is a very good writer.
Yeah.
When it comes to competitive writing.
So anyway, the adoption. That's
And-
what we were talking about.
Right.
Okay.
So you did the paperwork.
I was like, wait, what are we talking about?
Even though I'm technically the better writer,
Yeah, you're just not motivated.
you're a lot more motivated than I am. And
Yeah.
plus, I mean, I had my stuff I was
Yeah, we were doing
so.
we were in a very busy time. We were buying our house.
We went from-
building this.
We went from doing nothing.
Hey, I was busy.
Well, I mean, I had jobs too.
Hobbies.
Okay.
I'm saying we weren't.
But we just
Losers.
No, we were living life,
But
we just
2025 has been a very transformative year.
yeah, we've I mean, we're adopting because of infertility.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had no kids and we weren't having any in the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. We're
Dual
doing
income, no
our
kids.
yeah, we're doing our church stuff. But it was we kind of just did our job and then found stuff to do the rest of the day. That was our lives. And
Yeah.
then in one summer we were we're buying a house, we're adopting a kid,
We're renovating.
we're building
the
a
house.
studio,
Yeah.
and yeah,
That's
like
it.
was that it?
I mean, but at the same
It
time of
entailed a
doing
lot.
our jobs still and our callings in our church.
Right.
So it was a busy time. This year has really kind of been crazy.
So I was kind of tackling the house
Yeah.
and the renovation, and you were doing the adoption.
So
stuff.
it's not that you weren't helpful. People will flame you. We literally said, you're going to do all the house stuff. I will do all the adoption stuff. Although the house people started to call me because Kevin's such a bad communicator. Like if he doesn't want to talk on the phone, he's not going to answer the phone. So they would call me and be like,
sometimes
having
I'm
all
in the
these
middle
questions.
of a Brawl Stars match.
Yeah,
and then,
sometimes I'm teaching third grade. And I was like, hello? This is a bad time, but is it an emergency? Are we closing tomorrow and you can't get a hold of my husband?
I'm not going to let the lender throw my game
Yeah,
and
that's
cost me 8 trophies.
the sad thing is that's not a joke. That's actually what happened, and that's so sad. That's my life. That's what I wish you would have said in that district meeting all those years ago. That might
that
then it would have been like, nobody's gonna fall for that.
I'm not going to let my lender cost me 80
Yeah.
ELO.
You're like, I'm not gonna answer an important phone call if I'm in the middle of a video game. Okay.
Yeah, so but I guess the only thing that really comes to my mind when going over the adoption because people that's what people ask us about all the time is like,
How's it going?
what is that?
Yeah.
How do you adopt a kid? And we, first of all, it's ridiculously expensive.
Second of all, we still don't know because we don't have the kid, and everybody pray.
Yeah, that's true. But the process, I mean, you have to just raise a bunch of money. It's like anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000 about.
Yeah,
and
there's
it's
a lot
like,
of factors that change that. Yeah.
where do you get that from? And so we had like a big yard sale. We've done what we can to raise the money.
We've been so monumentally supported by our family and friends.
Yeah, it's crazy.
None of the money is really even ours.
No.
Like hardly any of it.
No, and that's like that's what's weird about it is that we decided that we wanted to adopt,
Yeah.
and we just felt like
But
we should
there's,
adopt.
Like, this is
and then it was like,
how?
yeah, like God Himself is just gonna have to make it happen because, and then he does.
Yeah.
And then he
will.
has.
And
yeah.
he will.
Like we've just had so much support from people. It's
We feel like this
so
baby
much support
will be,
that it's never been this much support. I mean, you help people and and people help you throughout your life, but this is like a time where it's like we've just had we've had so much help that we'll never be able to we'll never be able to pay people back.
We're so indebted. Although, well, yeah, in the yard sale, I remember one of our friends, like, it was an emotional day. Like, it was so much work, and it was so much work. And I remember we actually had 2 sales, and so we needed to move all of the stuff to someone else's house. We didn't do it at our own house because our neighborhood sucks for yard sales. We live at the top of a hill and our narrow, tiny road.
Yeah, we don't get any trick-or-treaters.
Yeah. So bad yard sale location. So we did it at our friend's house. And anyway, so it was like the end of the day. We still had a lot of stuff because we had donations from like 30 plus families. We had so much stuff and we needed to move it. And I was like, I'm so done. But our friend said, like, she said, I know it feels like a big deal to you, but it's not a big deal to us. Like, just helping so that helped put it in perspective. But there are people in this journey that have helped us in monumental ways that it is a big deal. Like my parents have, like, I couldn't even talk about it because I'll cry. They've helped us in ways that, like, we would not have been able to do it without them.
No.
And your parents. I mean, both of our families have done so much, have done what they could, have really put forth all of their efforts in their respective means. So it's been really humbling.
The other interesting aspect of it is just how, like, extensive they are to us.
Totally.
The adoption agencies, I should clarify.
And the home study.
Right. Like they it's just crazy that
They
that
know
people
everything about
yeah
us.
that we've talked about this a billion times, but it's just weird that people are just out there having babies.
Anybody can have a kid
It's just like
for free.
go have a baby.
Have a criminal record and have a baby.
But then we're trying to have a baby, and it's like we have to raise all this money, do all this stuff, and also we have to just be the epitome
Yeah.
of good parenting.
Yeah, and we
it's
are.
like if there is anything
in your past,
if you have an outlet that isn't that's
they're like,
sticking
we're
an
gonna
eighth
pull
inch
on
out of the
every
wall,
cupboard and make sure you have it locked.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like
People are out there just having a bajillion kids that are
and we just you have to be perfect to.
And I don't think it feels that way, but there probably is some wiggle room.
Yeah, that's obviously
But
true.
we had
but
to prove all the finances,
yeah.
all the insurance, the life insurance, all the stuff. By the way, attitude to the life insurance, you weren't on it. I didn't know that one day when we had a meeting.
That's
anyway.
all right. I'm not gonna die.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, Kevin's not on there. We had him. It's like all the things. We had to prove all of our finances, all of our credit card statements, our bank statements, our savings, our retirement, all of that, which, okay. But also like, I don't know. It's like, does anybody that's like 20 having a kid have like a huge 401k?
Yeah,
And then we had to
wild.
do a ton of criminal background stuff in 3 states. We had to do it
3?
in Utah,
Oh yeah,
Missouri, and now in Texas because that's where the baby is.
right.
Tons of paperwork, like so much. The home study, and then a lot of it too was like we had to write our own life history. Like
Your
this-
life history. I basically had to put episode 1 of the
Literally.
Moxie Moron show on paper.
So there was all these questions we had to answer in it, and I thought, well, anybody could lie in that, but I guess. And then we had to get a lot of like character references from our family, friends, and church, and
Yeah,
So-
so it's been a lot. But
yeah, but it'll be worth it. I mean, that's
of course. I mean, everybody that adopts is never gonna say that
totally.
it isn't.
Anyone that has a
And-
kid, hopefully, yeah.
So,
So we'd do it again.
is there anything? I mean, this is your time to
This is not.
share. This is your time to share with your family and friends whatever you are passionate about. What
Literally,
you
I was
want
like-
everybody to know. This is your platform to be like.
They already know it. I'm pretty open. Okay. Yeah, no, well, let me think. But this is why I was like, Kevin, is this like an interview? And I'm like, what are you going to ask
Well, I'm
me
just-
so I can
see-
prepare? And now he's like, this is your one and only time to tell your friends and family anything that you want.
Yeah,
this is
but-
it. This is your moment.
but
And
this
I'm
is
like,
why.
would have loved to know.
No, this is why I structure it that way because.
Now I'm like, oh my gosh, is this saying goodbye to my mom?
I'm not saying that this is like the correct way to do this and this is like 100% accurate, but I just feel like the things that make you tick
Are automatic.
are you don't have to think about the things that you're genuinely concerned about. Like
Yeah, I understand
what's
that.
on your mind is what's on your mind.
Okay, so you're wanting to know what's on my mind.
I'm just wondering if there's anything that we haven't covered that you're like, dude, I've really wanted to just like let
Yeah.
everybody know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a misconception, or
Okay.
maybe it's just something that you're passionate about that you want, and you don't even have. I mean,
I'm passionate about education, covered it.
yes,
I'm passionate about
Cats.
adoption.
covered it.
No, haven't even started to cover it. I could go on and on about Mars. But I think the before adoption was infertility, and I'm passionate about that too because that is like a very complex and difficult thing.
Hang on, we need Mars to quiet down.
Well, he has a lot to say.
Yeah, okay.
Put him on the mic.
No, he'll be quiet now.
That's just a loaded issue, and especially for religious people, for religious women.
Infertility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be its own episode, but I just think that anyone that's gone through it gets it, and anybody that hasn't doesn't, and everybody that hasn't acts like they get it, and they just don't, and they won't. It is a cross to bear, And I don't really know the answer still. I don't know why. But it has been like, that's the defining thing of my life.
The defining thing of your life.
Yeah, that's like,
What do you mean?
I think my life was so typical until that. That's the only thing that hasn't come easy in my life.
So what do you feel like you're in a position to offer people?
Advice?
Yeah, offer anybody anything that's going through that same thing.
I don't know. I
you
also don't want people to think that we are adopting because, I mean, it led us to this. I don't think adoption was a plan B for us because we have always talked about it in our marriage.
Yeah.
We got here faster because of our infertility. But remember the album I made in my phone with pictures and it was like titled Adoption?
Uh-huh.
That was like a year into our marriage.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just think that's interesting.
I mean, I've always wanted to.
I know. And that's something that we talked about before we even were married.
Yeah.
I don't have the answers, but the thing, I really believe that any woman, Christian woman, well, any woman, but like, because the hard thing is like, I'm this woman of faith. I believe if I live my life a certain way that I receive certain blessings. I also believe that God wants us to have families. And so that's really a confusing thing for a woman to be like, hey, do this thing, but you can't. And so it's complicated, but I just think it'll be made up to me. And I even think, well, I don't know. This could be like, time will tell. It can be made up to me in this life. I think that the child that we're gonna get, hopefully, if it all works out, is just gonna be like the best. I think I'll get to a point where I'm like, wow, I would do it again. I would go 6 years without being able to have a baby for this child again. I just believe that, but I also think in the next life, it'll be made up. I think I am getting blessed for living the way that I am. I'm just not getting the blessing that I want.
Did you always feel that way?
No.
At what point did you come to that conclusion?
I don't know. It's been very gradual.
I mean, you've expressed that you felt, abandonment.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and like
or anger.
So much anger because it's like, why? And
I also feel like it wasn't like you had all the anger all at once and then now you don't.
Totally came and went. Well, you think I did have it all at once?
I think it happened several times.
Yeah.
And then you were like, then after you were angry, then you kind of like were like a little bit more faithful, and you're like, you know what, it's gonna be okay, and then things would happen where it would come back again.
Yeah, and I don't really know. I think life events would happen, but I think that it ebbed and flowed like any hard thing would. I don't know. There's a reason, but.
So what do you think? Like so where are you at now?
I'm not angry anymore, but I still don't know why. I don't know the reason. But life is long. I might one day. We might have a baby one day. I don't know. But at this point, because this is the other thing, you're not fertile, and it's like you open yourself up to everybody's opinions, and it's like, well, you're using dry shampoo. That's an endocrine disruptor.
Yeah.
And you should eat sunflower seeds on the 8th day of the month. Like there's so much information. And then it's like, I went to a specialist here in St. Louis, this like award-winning doctor, whatever. And I'm like, why can't I have a baby? And she's like, oh, well, that's easy. You have PCOS. And I'm like, great. What causes PCOS? And she's like, oh my gosh, well, a million things, So it's like nobody has been able to tell me to identify what I need to do. Everything has always been normal. All the blood.
I feel like is kind of I agree with that, and I feel like it's kind of strange. It kind of bugs me.
Well, women's health has just not hardly ever been studied. It's just like really understudied. In recent years now, they're doing more research into women's reproductive health.
Yeah, but we're not, because it's becoming such an epidemic.
Right.
And,
so
and
there's
people
like,
aren't honest. I don't feel like it's being treated very honestly about that, because we're acting.
I think it is.
I think the doctors that we've been to and the people that we've talked to, for the sake of their job, they have to kind of like
That's
portray
true. It's
that
a Band-Aid.
that it's not understudied, that they know exactly what's going on.
Well, yes and no. So the doctor we saw, she was like,
and also that
I don't know.
they'll never. I don't think that they've not that they've been lying to us, but that they've just been a little bit unrealistic as to the situation.
I don't think anyone truly knows the cause.
I don't think anybody. Yeah, I don't. It's being studied,
There's so many things that they'll never know because it's our food. They put chemicals in our food, the dye in our food. It is the dry shampoo. You know, it's not just that, but it's so many things that I don't think, me personally, I don't think I'll ever know what has ruined my body. But I also don't know if something has, because it's always been this way.
Yeah.
So
and I feel like but I all I'm saying is that I think that people use that to be like, this could save you, or this could fix it. This could fix it.
They did do that, and we've done a lot of treatment.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I'm just,
but they're
like,
offering, that's what medicine is. That's why everyone's like, big pharma, they just want to sell you something to mask. They're not healing you. They're just,
and that was a big that was why, like, the decision to adoption was kind of, I mean, it was honestly a tough one to make.
Yeah.
Even though we had already planned on doing it, it's obviously a very expensive process, and it was just kind of like, we could either, it almost felt like giving up on fertility.
It felt like closing a door.
Yeah, it was like, but the door, it bugged me that the door was never ending.
Yeah.
It was like nobody would come to us and be like, dude, you're not going to have a kid.
And this, I know. You're
not going to have a kid, probably just adopt at this point. No, but you're never going to get that.
Well,
unless you literally have an operation and you don't have the organs to. But it was just like everything that they could say.
For us, because some people have that. But for us, it was never ending.
And I feel like the epidemic falls under mostly people like us.
Totally. That are relatively healthy.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the walking bill of health, but for fertility purposes, all my labs were normal. The blood work wasn't right. So they couldn't be like, oh my gosh, yeah, you're super low in this. So it's just a big mystery, which is annoying. And we could have done IVF. That's kind of the point we were at. It was IVF or adoption or nothing.
Yeah, like you simply can't afford to do both.
Well, you can't, but I also didn't ever really want to do IVF. The funny thing is, like, my experience with God is anytime I've received an answer from God, the answer has always usually been like, you already know the answer. I remember the first time I prayed about the Book of Mormon as like a teenager. The first time I took it seriously and I read it and prayed, the confirmation that I felt was like, you already know. You've already felt that it's true. Like, why are you asking? And adoption was the same thing. I think I have known for really our whole marriage. It's been in my subconscious that this is what I want. And we were like, oh, I don't know, because it was a hard thing to say yes to. It was intimidating. It's expensive. We don't know. There's so many unknowns. And it's still, like I keep saying, it might not work out. But like the prompting that I felt that day that we really kind of pulled the trigger is like, you already know. The thought that I had is, what are you waiting for? As if to say, you already know that this is what you want. And you had the same kind of experience.
Yeah, I want to add, I would add to that, just like on the subject of how God speaks to you that way. Like, I feel like I've had similar, that's what his answer, I've had similar answers throughout my life, is like, you already kind of like, and it's even more further than that is, stop trying to like complicate it.
Yeah.
You know, this doesn't necessarily have to do with like infertility or adoption, or I'm just saying that just in general, like God, I feel like that's how he's answered me as well. Is that you say that you have felt like he says you already kind of know the answer. You already know the answer to that.
Yeah.
And I feel that same, like I felt the same way to questions that I've had, but I just wanted to kind of add that I've also felt that he's been like, you're trying to complicate it too.
Well,
Like not only do you already know the answer to this question, but you're trying to like,
yeah.
you're
But
trying to
it's just
make
fear.
it like,
It's because you're afraid.
yeah. And that's the thing is like, even to doctrinal questions
Yeah.
is like, and
You are.
that's why I see people in the membership at large do the same thing. Is we try to like, well, it kind of means like this, or it kind of,
We
it
tailor
could
it
means this
to what we're comfortable with.
or we just like make it so cryptic and
Yeah.
nuanced that there actually isn't an answer really.
Mm-hmm.
When I have felt like God, when you're truly just want to know the truth,
Yeah.
and you have no bias, that's when God is like, dude, you already know, and it's simple. That's what we're taught in the in the Book of Mormon. It's like the answers are simple, and they're not complicated, and that has been like tacked on to those answers of mine. Is like you're trying to complicate it, and it's just not. You're just not ready to understand the truth of it or accept the truth of it. But it's just a simple thing, and you already know the answer.
That's a hard thing, though. That's hard to remove bias. It's hard to, especially like, I mean, you're right, but in the moment, that's like it's a difficult thing.
Well, yeah, that's why most people
Can't do it. Yeah, I know, but yeah.
But it is cool though that we can say that we both weirdly felt that adoption was the way to go. Like right
the same time.
At the same time, we had years before that where we were like,
we don't know.
We don't have a kid, and
what do
we're
we do?
infertile. We went through that for years.
Yeah.
And I was always like, I just don't feel like I'm being pushed in any direction right now.
Right. Same.
And then all of a sudden, I did. We both did. Yeah,
it was weird, and it was so scary too. Really, because we knew that we didn't have the money. Nobody does. Nobody that's at our age has that kind of money. And so I think that's what made me drag my feet, is I didn't know how we would do it. And so I didn't actually tell Kevin for a few days that I had that thought. So when I finally was brave enough to tell him, like I said, I think I'm ready to do this like yesterday or something, or tomorrow. And you were like, me too, actually. And then we kind of described the spiritual experiences that we had, and it was this, but separately God had put that on our hearts.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But the same thing is with it's difficult to take a step forward when there's no good reason that it's going to work out. Like, you took a huge leap of faith to build this, and you're like, and I like asked Kevin throughout this whole thing, I'm, questioning him how this is going to work out, and you don't know still, but it's just like faith. It's a leap of faith. It's the same thing with the adoption. And it has worked out thus far. We have seen so many miracles, and we'll hopefully still continue to see them through this process. Like, if it's right, God will provide a way.
I'm gonna probably wrap up the episode with this thought. Just after you say that, like the adoption is a big leap of faith. It is for everybody. Building this studio is a leap of faith, and I feel like that is like, we view things like that because not everybody adopts.
Yeah.
Not everybody builds a podcast studio. Not everybody does these super risky things. But I think that in a way, everybody does eventually.
Hopefully.
They have to. Like, I feel like that's because we've seen it as early as the people in the scriptures. I feel like it's a pattern that God wants. Something about being closer to God or becoming more godly involves taking some kind of risk like that. We've just seen it through examples in the scriptures, and the one that has been on my mind recently is Nephi building his boat.
Mm-hmm.
Because that, like, I just see a lot of similarities between what I did and, Nephi's was obviously much greater.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, it is. But
He's like, I'm large in stature.
not similarities with Nephi himself.
Well, you were going there.
Just with the
I just
experiences.
saved you from the humiliation.
Nephi was, they come to the ocean. It's never been crossed. It's like it's the edge of the frontier. Nobody has ever.
Yeah.
You don't sail on this thing. If you do, you just come right back. But the Lord's like, you're gonna build a boat and you're gonna cross the ocean.
Yeah.
You don't know how big it is. You don't know how far it is. You know nothing about the journey.
Yeah.
But this is what I want you to do. You have, not only do I want you to cross the ocean, but you're going to build the vessel that is going to cross you and your family.
Yeah. By the way, you've never built a boat, but I'll tell you how.
Yeah. And this is why. This is what's been interesting is he's like, yeah, by the way, you have zero experience in boat building.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if he has zero. I don't know how much experience he had, but it just like, you don't build boats.
Okay. Yeah.
You're going to build a boat. And it's like, okay, first of all, if you're Nephi, you're like, well, this is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not going to be able to do this. But the Lord convinces you and he hypes you up and you're like, okay, with the Lord, I got this. I'm going to be able to do this. Maybe let's start with getting some boat experience. Let me learn the trade. Let me go talk to some boat builders, or let me go find the boat building books. And then the Lord says, oh, by the way, that's going to be irrelevant because you're not going to build it the way that they've been built.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the concept that has been like so pressing to me, is like that, because we always, even when we take these risks, we're always like, okay, well, people have done it before though. So let me like, if I can do anything, let me just at least first like kind of see how other people do it, and which is important. Like the boat has to float.
Yeah.
It has to be a boat.
Yeah.
But even when the Lord asks you to do these things, sometimes he's like, you're going to do it, and you're going to do it in a way that's never been done before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm literally just going to show you how to do it. Mm-hmm. And so, it's a podcast.
Yeah.
It's, it's here, but it's like, there's a uniqueness to it as well that I'm also banking on, like that you also have to have faith in.
Yeah.
It's like, not only was he required to have faith to cross the freaking ocean in a boat that he builds, but it's also, you have to have faith in. He's like, oh, and guess what? You're not even going to be able to tell if you did it right, because you're going to have nothing to compare it to, because it's going to be one of its own kind.
Yeah.
Which is like, that is just an absurd amount of faith. That is otherworldly amounts of faith.
Yeah.
If you think about it. And
yeah, but it's an important caveat that sometimes you do have things to compare it to. And
right.
It's okay to also still do it a different way, even if the world's like, you're stupid.
Exactly. And yeah, and that was my other point, is like, instantly he's persecuted by his own brothers.
Yeah.
Like, very first and foremost, they were the ones that had the rational point of view. And they're like, you're not going to build a boat,
yeah,
dude.
You don't know how to do this.
We're not going to cross the ocean in a boat that you built. That's just like, you're kind of dreaming here.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was the crazy guy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I feel like
build the boat. But in my life experience, because it's been short, sometimes it does fail. Like the infertility. Haven't been able to have a baby, right? That's been always my issue. Is like all the scriptures tell me about like have faith, do the thing, and it'll work. And sometimes it doesn't in the way that you think. That's what like why I say life is long. I don't know how it's gonna work out yet, but I know that it will. And so if you do something, and it doesn't work the way you thought, it's like, okay.
Which could be,
And
yeah,
like,
which could also
play this
be.
back to me if something doesn't work out in
Yeah.
this adoption, because I do believe that, but it's hard to feel that all the time, especially when like the thing that you want is a righteous thing.
That's and that's what I was gonna say is the adoption is no different. It's like the adoption hasn't happened yet,
And it's
And we-
completely out of our hands. It's
and we
so terrifying.
we have all the green flags. Like it seems like it's very likely that it would happen, but you have to be prepared for it to not happen,
Yep.
and still be able to see that all things, everything that happens to you,
Work together.
work together for your good.
Yeah.
And
You have to believe it though, because you don't always feel it.
and that's why, I'm like, I want to do this. I feel great about this podcast.
Yeah. Whoa.
I have no real reason to, but I feel great about it. And and if it just flops, like
Then it flops.
then I just move on to the
And
next
life
thing.
is long. Yeah. It's just like, we don't know. We just don't know.
So
Well, wisdom. Mars is asleep, so boring.
I guess show's over. I guess.
Snooze fest. Well, I'm proud of you, and I think that for anything, at least you did it. Said that you tried. Said that you built it, and you started it, and you did it. And he did build it with his own hands, with my help.
it wasn't
Emotionally,
it wasn't just your help.
financially.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh my gosh, with so much help. But I painted these walls.
it's true.
I did not mud and tape them because that looks horrible. That was only Kevin.
That was me.
And I think I could have done a better job.
Everything that looks bad was me. Everything that looks good was Ashley.
I don't know. I'm still
kinda how
mad
it
about the
goes
baseboards.
with everything.
And like that's the thing is I'm like, I'm messing these up. I'm doing. And he was like, I literally don't care. So don't look too closely at the seams, the ceiling, or the baseboards.
I'm done talking about this studio though.
Oh, I wish. I don't think that you are. I think
At
this will
least in
come
this
up
format.
for the rest of our lives.
At least in this format.
Thanksgiving, we're going to be at our friend's house. He's going to talk about the studio. Christmas, he's going to talk about the studio. We're going to Texas. He's going to talk about the studio.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show.
I'm not very interesting. I also don't think
Well,
I'm
hey,
not the
listeners,
audience.
let Ashley know if she was interesting or not.
just please don't roast me in the Discord. That's what I don't want.
You're gonna get roasted. In the
I am
Discord.
not. Wait, really quick. Can we talk about the purple monkey thing? That's kind of a funny story to end on.
Okay.
This
quickly,
is
quickly, quickly.
okay. I don't get the internet. And
Didn't grow up on online gaming.
never. So like my first experience with online gaming was in Gorilla Tag on the Oculus. So I'm like, I get in there. I'm like a purple
Hold on.
gorilla.
Whoa. Hold on. You're 28 years old.
Yeah, I'm
though.
28. So
First
I'm like-
experience. I'm
and
28
with
years
my
old on
my
Gorilla
cousin.
Tag.
Yeah, I'm with my cousin who's like, at the time, I don't know how old he was. Like, I don't know, 16, 18. I got the Gorilla Tag on and I'm like running up to kids and they're like, Purple Monkey, hi Purple. And I'm like, I don't know where to go. I'm lost. And they're like, follow me, Purple Monkey. They're like in a tree. And then I'm like, so
These kids are like 8 years old.
I don't know.
Perhaps even younger.
Yeah, so when I'm in a new social setting, I like want to get to know people. And so I'm like, where are you guys from? Like to the gorilla, to the monkeys.
How old are you?
Yeah, no. First I was like, wait, where are you guys from? And they were like, and I'm like, wait, how old are you guys? And they're like, lady, you're not supposed to ask us that. And I was like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, that's so creepy. And then I was like, well, I'm 28.
What is your age and location?
Yeah, they ran away in the game. They ran away. So my point is,
Then
I'm
it became
not
a real
an
game of
internet.
Gorilla Tag.
I'm not an internet person. So just don't roast me in the Discord and I'll be fine. I don't get it. I don't get the jokes.
All right. Well, thanks again.
Let's go get some hot chocolate.
All right, let's go.